certain property of a material to resist the change of rest or motion.
That is definition of inertia. Okay. My question is statement of first law. Don't confuse with the definition of inertia. That is the property by which body rests. What is statement?
And remains in a state of rest of uniform motion in a straight line unless compelled to change the state by an applied force.
Yes, that is Newton's first law, or we call Newton's law as law of inertia. So when I say state Newton's law, simply writing law of inertia will not do. You have to give me entire statement. Okay. Yeah. Sania, what is Newton's second law? Sania? Sania Jinu.
Momentum.
Law of momentum. That is only another name, statement.
Product of mass and velocity.
That is definition of momentum. That is definition of momentum. Newton's second law is different. What is the statement? Only that much you have written, Sania. After that, you didn't write anything. Kshetra, state Newton's second law.
Newton's second law of motion states that the rate of change in momentum of an object is directly proportional to the applied unbalanced force in the direction of force.
Yeah, that is the statement. Did you hear, Sania? Did you write that in your notes?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Shania Simon. Why did you off your video? On the video again. Shania Simon. Yeah. Now state Newton's second law. You heard what Kshetra said. Repeat. At least read and tell me.
It's a product of mass and velocity.
That is definition of momentum. This is what Kshetra said this. Only that much only you know. That everyone remember. Justin, repeat the statement of Newton's second law.
The rate proportional to the applied unbalanced force in the direction of force.
Yes, the rate of change in momentum is directly proportional to the force applied. That is the one. Okay. That is the one. Shania, did you write that? Or you are just opening the textbook and seeing where it is? This is what is our lecture notes. Okay. Then read. Did you get that? Statement? No. Okay. No study. Lakshmi Nanda, Newton's second law. Don't tell me it is law of momentum. That is the name of that law. I don't want to hear that.
Ma'am? Law of conversation of momentum.
Conversation of momentum. Whose conversation? Conversation. Mine is?
Ma'am, your voice is not hearing.
Newton's second law. Did you hear that? Newton's second law. Can you hear? I want the page.
Of momentum.
That only. I want the statement. I don't want the name of that law. Name of the law is law of momentum. That's not the one I wanted. Okay. Statement. Alnaros. Can you state Newton's second law, Alnaros? No reaction, no action. Gauri, what is Newton's second law?
The rate of change in momentum is directly proportional
to the applied force. Yeah, to the applied force. Rate of change in momentum is direct proportional to the applied force. Okay. Anjali Priya, what is the equation to find the force? Equation to find the force. F
is equal to ma.
F is equal to ma. What is Abin Thompson? What is m, Abin? What is Abin? What is m, Abin? F is equal to ma. M stands for say
Mass.
fast. Mass. A stands for
Acceleration.
acceleration. So you can find out the force, mass into acceleration. Okay. Now we are moving on to the last session. Ashik, what is conservation law of momentum? Ashik. Conservation law of momentum. State that. That's the last topic we covered.
Yes, ma'am.
State conservation law of momentum. Tell. Don't remember. Adulya. Adulya. What is conservation law of momentum, Adulya? No answer. Anyone? Srihari.
And the total momentum of system before and after collision is same.
Yeah, the total momentum in an isolated system remains constant or same. Otherwise, total collision, the momentum before collision is equal to momentum after collision. Okay, so this is the one we have studied and we started the derivation. So we are going back to that derivation once again. Okay, so what is the so we are moving on to that one, the conservation law of momentum. Momentum before collision is equal to momentum after collision. That means if the car and bike is colliding, before collision, what was both the momentum, what was their momentum, that will be equal to the momentum after collision. Because we already know once the momentum, once this bike and car collides, their speed and everything changes after collision. Okay, so naturally the momentum before collision will change. So whatever is in the first momentum, that will be equal to the second momentum.
Your voice is not hearing sometimes. Now your voice is not hearing.
Not hearing. Can you hear now? Can you hear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So we are moving on to conservation law of momentum. We have already learned, but some of you just told, ma'am, we need to repeat. So I'm going to repeat. Okay, so what is conservation law of momentum? States that an isolated system, the total momentum remains conserved, or total momentum of the system before collision is equal to total momentum after the collision, provided there are no external unbalanced forces acting on them. So this is an example I have showed to you. That is a loaded cart moving ahead. There is a brick. That is so. It's gone again. Just. Yeah. So this is a simple example. A cart is moving forward with a mass, initial mass, and there is a brick. A brick is dropped on the cart. So before dropping the brick, it has one momentum. After dropping the brick and the cart will move together. So here what is happening? Here the mass of the brick also added. So this is a simple example of momentum before collision and momentum after collision. Now for the proof, we are going to see two balls. There are two balls. They are moving in the same direction. With initial velocity u1. Okay, so there is a ball M1 with initial velocity u1 and ball M2 with initial velocity u2. It starts moving, and after some time, after time t, both balls collide one another. When both the balls collide one another, first ball exert force on second one and second ball exert on first one. Then after collision, both of the balls starts moving separately with a change in velocity, that is with the final velocity v1, v2. So in order to prove this conservation law of momentum, first we have to find out what is the initial momentum. What is the initial momentum before collision? Then find the initial momentum, final momentum after collision. Before collision, what was the momentum? And final, after collision, what was the momentum? We need to calculate, and you have to check whether both the momentum are equal or not. So that is the proof. Okay. So for that, we are considering the initial velocity of the first ball. Initial velocity of the first ball is greater than final velocity of the second ball. Then before collision, initial momentum means before collision. Before collision, initial momentum of the first ball, m1 into u1. It's a product of mass and velocity. Then after collision, this is after collision. After collision, the momentum of the ball one is m1 into v1, because after collision the velocity changed. So that is m1 v1. Therefore, change in momentum of the first ball is m1 v1 minus m1 u1. Okay. Therefore, m1 into v1 minus u1. That is m1 into v1 minus u1, because m1 is common. Then rate of change in momentum of ball 1. So after colliding in particular time, the momentum is changed. That is m1 into v1 minus u1 divided by t. Okay. Similarly, we are going to find out for second ball. Second ball, initial momentum of the second ball. Ball 2, we got it m2 u2. That is before collision. Similarly, final momentum. So final momentum of ball 2 after collision. We will get m2 v2. Therefore, change in momentum of ball 2. How do we find out the first ball? The same steps that you will get m2 v2 minus m1 v1. Sorry, m2 v2 minus m2 u2. m2 v2 minus of the first ball, this was the one. So the first slide, what I was showing, initial momentum of ball 1, m1 u1. Final momentum of ball 1, m1 v1. Change in momentum is m1 v1 minus m1 u1. Therefore, m1 into v1 minus u1. So rate of change in momentum of ball 1, m1 into v1 minus u1 by t. Similarly, we have to find out for second ball. Second ball, initial momentum is m2 u2 before collision. Initial momentum is m2 u2 before collision. Final momentum of ball 2 after collision, that is m2 into v2. Therefore, change in momentum is m2 v2 minus m2 u2. Again, m2 is common, so you can write it as v2 minus u2. So change in momentum we found out. Now we are moving on to the last step, that is rate of change in momentum. Rate of change in momentum means a particular time t, how much it momentum change. So that you got it, m2 into v2 minus u2 divided by t. That is on the slide. Okay. Now applying Newton's third law. Applying Newton's third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Then we will get first force is equal to negative of the second force. So that is m1. That is ball 1. This is already we found out for ball 1. This is for ball 2. So when they collide, what will happen, children? When two balls collide, will the both ball will exert the force on it? So well, if two balls are colliding, will both the balls will exert the force?
No.
No? Yes.
When
Yes. Correct?
Yes.
So ball 1 exerting on ball 2 one force when they collide. So just like you, both of you friends, Soval and Justin, you are running in same direction, and Soval and Justin is dashed. Correct? You hit one another. Will Soval exert force on you and you exert force on Soval? Correct? Correct? Yes or no? Yeah. That is why both are getting injured. Not only you. The Justin also will get injured. You also will get injured. Why? Because of both of you collide. When the both of you collide, each one of you exert force on one another. So that is Newton's third law. For every action, suppose Soval is going and hitting the Justin. Justin also is exerting force that moment on Soval, and Soval also exerting force on Justin. So action is Soval is going on hitting. Reaction is Justin is exerting force on it. So first of all, here explain the first force. Okay, action. Second ball apply reaction. So we can write it first force equal to negative of the second force. Why it is negative? Because it is in opposite direction. So both are equal. So here we are considering two balls collide. Both of are exerting one another. So for that, first we found out the initial and final momentum of the ball 1. Then we find out the initial and final momentum of the second ball. Then we find out the force by each ball. We find out force by each ball. Now we are going to apply Newton's third law. That is force by ball 1 is equal to negative of the force by ball 2. So that is what I showed you in the slide. So I hope you understood up to here what we are doing, because we are going to prove why we are learning all this, because we are proving that conservation law of momentum with the example of two balls colliding, and how conservation of law of momentum is going to be applicable in that case. That is what we are learning, all these equations. Okay, so F1, that is, what is F12 here? Force by ball 1. Ball 1 equal to negative of force by ball 2. Now substitute Newton's second law here. That is, rate of change in momentum is directly proportional to the force. So we are applying m1 into v1 minus u1 by t is equal to minus m2 into v2 minus u2 by t. Okay. Then we are going to expand both sides. Since t in both sides can be cancelled. T in both sides get cancelled mathematically. So what is remaining? Only m1 v1 minus u1 is equal to m2 v2 minus u2. That is only one is remaining. Only one is remaining. Now we are going to expand that. When you expand, m1 into v1 minus m1 into u1, m1 u1. Now here there is a minus m2 into v2. So you will get minus m2 v2. Here also minus, here also minus. So minus minus become plus. Then you will get m2 u2. Now what we are going to do? All the u terms on one side. All the u terms on one side and v terms on other side. So when you just do the transpose, you have already learned in maths how we transpose left hand side and right hand side. The same thing we are using here. Okay, so we take m1 u1 to one side and m2 u2. So together it become m1 u1 plus m2 u2 and m1 v1 plus. When you take what we are doing here, we are taking m1 u1 to this side, m1 u1 to this side, and m2 minus m2 v2 to this side. So gradually you are getting all positive terms, because minus sign goes while go to this side and that side. Minus sign goes for both. Minus sign goes for both. Therefore, m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. What is m1 u1 plus m2 u2? It is the initial momentum of the system before collision. m1 u1 is the initial momentum of the ball 1 and m2 u2 is the initial momentum of the ball 2. So total momentum, we got the adding of initial momentum of both balls, which is equal to total momentum of the system after collision. Okay. So finally, we have proved that equation. Okay. Anyone has doubt this much? Again, you need me to explain, you tell me. You just concentrate what it is. So what we do, two balls, they are moving with the different velocities, u1 and u2. Therefore, initial momentum of the first ball is m1u1. Initial momentum of the second ball is m2u2. Then we found out the final momentum of each ball separately, ball 1 and ball 2. So ball 1 we got m1v1, ball 2 we got m2v2. Then we found out rate in change in momentum by Newton's second law. That is, rate in change in momentum is directly proportional to the force. What do you mean by it? How much is the momentum? That will be equal to the force. So if you're running fast, how much force you apply, that will be equal to the momentum of your body to complete the your race. Without falling, you complete your running up to the last point. So that is your momentum. Okay. Then what we did that you apply Newton's third law. Newton's third law that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. That means one force will be positive, the opposite force which is acting on that first object. When the two balls are colliding, ball 1 exert force on ball 2 and ball 2 exert a force on ball 1. But they both are in opposite direction. Therefore, ball 1 force will be equal to the negative of ball 2. Then we substitute the rate of change in momentum of both the cases. Afterwards what we did? We just mathematically we explained. Mathematically we just explained. That's what we have done. Okay, when mathematically explained, you got it? Right, this eraser is running like anything. So, finally you are getting this. We are expanding. m1v1 minus m1u1, which is equal to minus m2v2 plus m2u2. Then take out all the u terms one side. Then you become m1u1 plus m2u2, m1v1 plus m2v2. And what is m1u1 plus m2u2? It is the total momentum of each ball before collision. And what is m1v1, m2v2? It is the total momentum after collision. Okay. So this is the proof. And this part is a 5-mark question. So, okay, in your descriptive exam, for annual examination, all this, okay, F is equal to MA and conservation law of momentum, all will be in 5 marks question. All of you on the video first. On the video. Shani, did you understand how does the negatives go? Any doubt, Shania?
Yes.
You did not understand yet?
No.
Okay. I'll go back again. So from the slide, I am starting from the last one. M1 V1 minus U1, M2 V2 minus U2. That was the change in momentum in both the case. When we expand, you will get M1 V1 minus M1 U1, which is equal to M2 V2 minus M2 U2.
Negative.
Now, now you have to take, we have to take U terms one side. So it is better to remove negative. What we have to do?
Negative is there in front of M2 V2.
M2 V2. Sorry, M2. That negative is there, I forgot. So that negative, this was the equation, correct? This was the equation. minus is there. Then you will get minus M2V2 plus M2U2. That was equation when you expand. Then what we do, there is a minus sign here. Let us take M1U1 to this side. So when you take M1U1 this time, your equation is going to be M1V1 plus this minus M2V2 take this side. You will get M2V2 here. Here it become M2U2 plus minus M1U1 go to this side. Okay. The same thing, same arrangement you can rearrange, bringing initial momentum this side. There is no need of looking the sign now. Instead of writing, this is right hand side, you take it, this is left hand side. So that is what in that equation. M2U2 is equal to M1V1 plus M2V2. Why we just rearrange? Because according to our conservation law of momentum, initial momentum before collision is equal to final momentum after collision. So this is the initial momentum of ball 1. This is the initial momentum of ball 2. So total momentum before collision was this. This is final momentum of ball 1. This is the final momentum of ball 2. When you add, it is momentum after collision. Okay? Any doubt so far, children?
No, ma'am.
It's okay? Yeah. So, this is the thing. So, we have to do a problem using this equation. Then you will understand the concept little more clear. Okay? So, I winding up the session now. Time up. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.